Joey McGuire and Texas Tech football have released their depth chart for week number 3 against Oregon State. And in today's video, we'll discuss the new starting corner opposite of Bryce Pollock. Who is it? That, as well as discuss another member of the secondary, unfortunately getting into off-the-field issues. How do Joey McGuire and crew plan on addressing that? And Texas Tech and their Big 12 opener out in Salt Lake City, the time is set. And it could potentially be a big noon kickoff for the Red Raiders in week number 1 of Big 12 conference play. Let's get it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube. Our goal next year is 16,000. We're getting closer to 13. We've got some work to do, but I know Red Raider Nation's got my back. 47% of y'all that watch the videos don't subscribe. Go and hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. All right, enough with the promo. Let's go ahead and jump into the Texas Tech depth chart for week number 3. You may notice not a lot has changed, but one thing has changed for certain, and that is the starting corner opposite of Bryce Pollock. Bryce Pollock, obviously a top 10 corner in the SEC last year, according to PFF. That starting corner opposite of him is now Donta Balfour, the UNC Charlotte transfer. Started his career originally at UNC Chapel Hill, was a 4-star corner at a high school, and now, after missing week number 1, he has earned the starting job opposite of Bryce Pollock. Mo Horn moves into CB2 on that side of the field, while Amir Boyd is now the primary backup to Bryce Pollock on the opposite side. Texas Tech's defense has obviously looked fantastic against 2 inferior opponents so far this year in UAB and Kent State. Not trying to be disrespectful to them, but we speak the truth here on this channel. And Donta Balfour is a guy that I was pretty excited about when it came down to it, and he projects to be a long, rangy corner, physical at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage, and that's no coincidence that he is now starting as you're getting closer and closer to playing in a more physical league in the Big 12. You're leaving those non-con games behind after Oregon State, but Oregon State also has some physical wide receivers as well. So he's 6'2", in that 210, 215 range. He's a guy that you can project to be a strong corner on the outside opposite of Bryce Pollock. A guy that is a good tackler is Donta Balfour. And now your secondary really just continues to navigate and really be fluid in the sense of you have 5, 6 guys at the corner spot you really like, right? So Donta Balfour winning out isn't a surprise per se. I think it's just more of a, hey, you have really good quality depth there, something that Texas Tech simply has not had in quite some time, quite honestly, at the DB spot. Unfortunately, we do have some bad news when it comes to the DB spot for Texas Tech in terms of off-the-field issues, and that is of Amir Boyd Matthews. He was cited on reckless driving on Sunday, September 7th, out in the 806. Joey McGuire said they will handle the discipline internally. Didn't go much more into detail on. Now, there is a lot to look forward to, and I don't want to look forward to anything in the sense of like too far in the distant future, right? Prediction season's over, but there is a pretty big game for the Red Raiders, after this week. Not looking past Oregon State. You should focus on them. That being said, when you look at everything, you have this in Texas Tech at Utah. Number 20 Utah right now. Texas Tech just one spot behind them. In the AP poll at number 21, we'll have an 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff out in Salt Lake City. What does that mean for the Red Raiders? Well, technically out in Salt Lake City, that will be a 10 a.m. kick. But you will have the illustrious crew and highly decorated broadcast duo of Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt calling your game. You also have the All-American Jenny Taft on the sideline reporting for the primary game on Fox. Now, it has not been official yet in terms of what I've seen at the time of this recording that this is going to be the big noon kickoff. That has not been vocalized or, I guess, officialized yet, but it sounds like it's got a pretty good chance. And now, the reason I'm bringing this up is the simple fact of these kind of games are critical for Texas Tech to get away from those negative, really, I mean, it's kind of true. They've struggled on the road, right? In recent years. They haven't been able to win some of these bigger games. Now, I know they've won at Iowa State a couple times, but when you have high expectations like Texas Tech does, you have to figure out a way to win some of these games. And this is one of those games against Utah where, I'll be honest with you, hand up for accountability. Utah has proven a lot that I was very skeptical of them, of in the preseason. I get it. They've only played UCLA. UCLA looks like I'm trying to curse less on this channel, but they look like shit. And then they've beaten a team in Cal Poly that's just not good. Okay. So they are kind of like Texas Tech in the sense of they haven't really played anybody. Obviously, it's a little bit higher in terms of UCLA, but you get my point. They still look really good. This game out in Salt Lake City, in my opinion, as it stands right now, is a Big 12 title preview. I think Texas Tech has the best defense in the Big 12. I think Utah is all kinds of legit. I think their defense is all kinds of legit. And we'll talk about it next week after we're hopefully discussing an Oregon State victory for the Red Raiders in terms of beating the Beavers, obviously. But this has the potential to be one of those matchups where you can really, really get away from a lot of negativity of years past if you were Texas Tech and head coach Joey McGuire. If you go into Utah after starting the season 3-0 and winning against the top 20 team, more than likely in the Utah Utes, to the moon type stuff for this program, because the expectations are high, and a lot of people that I know are worried about, oh, is this going to be a typical Tech type situation? And to me, I don't think this is a typical Tech team. And the reason being is this. First and foremost, I hate the typical Tech stuff, but I also understand where people are coming from with it. But I personally hate it. That being said, this team is not typical in the sense that there are guys that have a clear objective ahead of them, in the sense of you have 13 guys from the transfer portal that were blue chip recruits, okay? They are focused on not only improving Texas Tech as a program, right? But they're also focused on the next level. And right, if they perform, Texas Tech will get to the goals this season, and then they will get to their goals later on. So they're focused on the Big 12 title side of things, because if they get there, they know they get more exposure. They're probably playing well, and that means that they have a great chance at the NFL. They don't know any better in terms of the previous Tech, whatever the hell was happening on the road and some of the debacles that this program has had in the past decade, right? They don't know any better. This team is different. I think this team truly has the potential to really surprise a lot of outsiders and be one of those special teams we talk about in 20, 25 years with your grandkids or kids or whatever it may be, right? This team is special. That being said, you got to handle business against Oregon State. And the biggest thing in terms of the difference for Texas Tech going into that game is that they will have a new starting corner in this one, not Bryce Pollock. He will be actually starting opposite of Donta Balfour. That's the new starting corner for the Red Raiders. As Mo Horn takes the back seat, Donta Balfour will be the starting corner opposite of Bryce Pollock for their Week 3 matchup against the Oregon State Beavers, where the Red Raiders will kick off at 2:30 Central Time out in the Jones. Joey McGuire making it a point. Students, we need you. Y'all have done a great job so far, but let's continue with it. Let's continue with it. And this truly what could be an historic season for the Red Raiders. Again, some unfortunate news for the Red Raiders off the field. Amir Boyd Matthews was arrested in terms of reckless driving on Sunday. Joey McGuire said that they will handle that internally, but Amir Boyd Matthews will not play against Oregon State in Week 3. And then from a scheduling standpoint, the Red Raiders, as it stands right now, more than likely going to have Big Noon Kickoff out in Salt Lake City. Officially not yet, but maybe by the time you're listening to this, it is official. But it will be a top 20 matchup potentially between the Utah Utes and the Red Raiders next Saturday, not this upcoming Saturday, but the next Saturday to start Big 12 play. And maybe it's a Big 12 title preview out at Salt Lake City. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Once again, appreciate y'all tuning in to the video. It's 100% free. So if you're not subscribed, like 47% of y'all, why not? We're giving you daily updates on everything Texas Tech football. We'll have a Texas Tech men's basketball video coming out this week discussing non-con. So you're going to want to stay in the know for that. We got game previews, instant reaction, game recaps, everything in between. We've got you covered when it comes to Texas Tech football and men's basketball on the gridiron, hardwood, portal, high school recruiting, everything in between. Largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube right here on the Red and Black Report. All right, as always, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, stay safe and Recom Tech.